All right, man.
Yeah.
Well, then let's get into the college basketball. We can go over the matchups, and then let's talk about some betting. So, Oregon State, Loyola. Oh no, we already covered. We covered tomorrow. We're gonna cover Sunday now because remember we covered.
Okay, but the lines are out today, right?
Yeah, but let's just cover. Let's get into the matchups for Sunday, and then let's go back and backtrack, and then do the lines for the other games.
Okay.
Okay. So Creighton,
Yeah.
Gonzaga.
So Gonzaga's -13.
Yeah. But no, we're not. Oh yeah, we can do the spreads too. But let's talk about the matchup first, and then we'll talk about what we would take betting wise.
Well, I watched Gonzaga's last game, and they were just against Oklahoma, and Oklahoma kind of hung around early, but they were draining a bunch of threes. Creighton is a better team. They're a lot better than we thought. We had them going out earlier, but Gonzaga's been steamrolling people. They're so deep. They got 8 guys out there. Suggs is a monster, man. I don't know. He's giving Kate Cunningham a run for that number 1 overall pick. Their guard.
Yeah.
And their big talented center that has the I love the mustache, the '80s mustache. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And the headband. That guy's sick, but he's averaging like close to a double-double. But yeah, I think Gonzaga's just going to take care of them like they have been. What do you think about this matchup?
Yeah, I think Creighton's 3-point shooting is interesting because like in a 1-game scenario, you don't want to face the team that could get hot from behind the arc.
True.
But with that being said, Gonzaga is just so deep, man. I mean, it's really their tournament to lose.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. Yeah.
All right, so the next game here is and then why don't we talk spread? It's -13 Gonzaga. Where are you leaning there?
I think Creighton's going to cover that. It's that is tough.
I see the game hanging around 10 points, and it's just a matter of like what happens at the end.
Yeah, I think
can Creighton hit a garbage time 3?
With Creighton, yeah, I know, but with Creighton's 3-point shooting, you would think that they'd be. I think they'll be closer than that. I think Gonzaga. I don't know. I think they're going to make it tough for Gonzaga, but Gonzaga's going to win out with talent. I would take Creighton to cover +13. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Well then.
What do you think?
This is a tough one for me. I feel like this is a pretty solid spread because I think that it's going to come down to the end of the game, and that's exactly what Vegas likes, right? They like when it's going to. They're right on the money. So, I think I'll lean Creighton +13 just because I'm going to believe in the 3-pointer.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be around that number.
That is a good thing to believe in these days,
Hey, so FSU Michigan. I saw a lot of interesting things from both sides of this matchup, but why don't you start us off there?
Oh, well, you've done more, I mean, the one thing I'll say about Michigan is, that I've been saying, they lost their senior forward. I think he's a forward, yeah. And everyone had them being the first 1 seed to go out of the tournament. And in our thing, we actually had them losing this round to Georgetown, but we don't know anything. It was pretty bad. But Florida State has surprised me. I think they'll take out Michigan. Go ahead. You can talk.
No, I'm on that wave too. Michigan was a little shaky from the start against LSU. LSU led at halftime, and it ended up being a pretty close game all the way through. So, and we're talking that's the 8 seed versus the 1 seed.
And FSU's way more talented than LSU.
Yeah, getting into FSU, man, I really thought that Boulder had a really outstanding showing against Georgetown round 1. Now you fast forward to round 2. Round 1 they were raining threes all day. Round 2 they play against FSU, a team that's coming from a tougher conference. It was just night and day, man. They lost by 20 points. So,
is the ACC a tougher conference, though? I mean, what we're seeing from the Pac-12 this year, the Pac-12 looks like the better conference.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But they do have a lot more length. Like their Florida State, they were playing a slow. Gosh, man, I'm so upset with our Georgetown pick. You could see that Patrick Ewing is trying to run his whole offense through his centers. and he doesn't. I mean, he appreciates the three, but they just look slow out there, man. And they're getting just so much separation, and that's why they were able to make so many threes. That was I think we were both watching that game at different places, but that was the most, or tied for the most threes that Colorado made in the first half all season. So, they're not going to shoot like that again. So, I mean...
yeah, they went from shooting like nearly 50% at least from three to, against FSU, going only 24%, 6 to 25, which is...
but that's... Man...
That's a wake-up call.
That fell back to earth. Jeez.
Yeah, come back to earth.
So, are we confident enough to take the money line? It's only, 2.5? Or do you want to just do spread?
FSU is plus 116 on the money line.
Oh, wow.
They're 2.5 point spread. I would go money line there.
I think money line. I think we both agree on that.
But hey, we're just analyzing each matchup, and then I say at the end of this, why don't we say our three favorite? Because I feel like if we did every single game, we're likely going to lose. But if we had our three favorite, those would be the ones we put in the description.
I know. I'm just talking through our process here.
But I'm just saying we'll agree on.
I agree. I agree with you. Out of all 8 games, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. All right. So UCLA, Bama. I'll let you take the floor on that one.
Okay. Well, Roll Tide, obviously. UCLA has really impressed me. Their 3-point shooting has been great every game. I do Alabama. Their whole, they made a lot of threes last game. They finally caught up. The first game they played terrible with their threes, and that's why upset alert. Riley was jabbing me with that upset alert. But I just think Alabama's length and size will just get to UCLA, because the thing about Alabama has great wing defenders and guard, and like their guards are all have a high 6 foot something wingspans, like 6'8" or 6'9", and they're all tall. So I think they're going to bother their 3-point shooting. That's why we have Alabama going so far. We have them going to the Final Four, because their defense is great, and they can pound the ball in the paint anytime they want, and they're decent shooting threes. Like, they're not a terrible 3-point shooting team for all the length they have, which is kind of a surprising thing. What do you think?
Yeah, I like Alabama here. I don't know if I like a -7.
I know. No, I'm thinking that. I think
I think the line should be closer to 5.
Yeah.
But hey, you know what? If you're feeling Bama, Roll Tide, man.
I think I'd have UCLA cover that. I think it's going to be a tight game, and that's coming from a Bama fan.
All right, man. Well, last matchup for the Sunday night slate is Oregon versus USC, a Pac-12 powwow.
These last two, I'm way more confident in our first two of the day. This one is a freaking coin flip, right?
Who do you lean? I mean, there's plenty of...
I think I'm going to do USC. USC's played a tough... I think I'm going to do USC, yeah.
As am I.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't think that would turn out like that.
I was going to go USC too, and it looks like 57% of bets are on Oregon +2. It's a 2-point spread. The teams have met in the regular season, and I'm going to get the history on that in just a second. Sorry, one second.
I know Oregon's going to be, Oregon's been on fire, but I don't know the last time I saw Kansas get stomped and dismantled like they did against USC.
The last time they played was February 22nd, and the USC won by 14, 72-58.
Yeah, well, it makes sense why they were the higher seed going into the tournament.
Yeah, yeah.
I actually, you know what? The more I think about it, I'm pretty confident in USC money line here, to be honest with you.
I think I'd take them spread -2. Money line's at -127. You might get a little more value there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But money line, you're right. Money line's not bad.
No, I like the spread then.
I just feel like, it's a 2-point spread because...
No, it's meaningless. Yeah, no.
It's just close. Yeah. It's one of those... Yeah. You got me.
If it was flipped on the other side, you do money line. Yeah.
Yep.
I got you.
All right, so hey, let's talk tomorrow's games then. Now that we've gone over those 4. So Oregon State Loyola is
the grit and grind game, man. This is the grit and grind game.
-7 for Loyola, so they're expecting a big win there.
I don't know.
53% of bettors are hopping on the Beaver train, and I don't blame them. But
I think this is going to be one down to the wire because they're both so good defensively. I see Oregon State covering +7. Like Loyola Chicago is the #1 rated defense in the country, but Oregon State, man, they put the clamps on Oklahoma State, bro. Like that was. And Cade Cunningham was out there, a guy that's way more talented than anyone on Loyola Chicago. So I think it's going to be a very low-scoring game. What do you think?
I think it's going to be quite low-scoring as well. It's an over-under at 125.
So 62.5 each.
70% of the bets are for the under.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are seeing what you're seeing. Do you see a chance that Vegas strikes back and 70% of bettors take an L this week, or do you think that it's pretty clear and cut that it's going to be a low-scoring defense?
Every single possession is going to be a defensive battle. You know, both of these teams are not built on their offenses; they're built on their defenses. I saw Oregon State's game against Oklahoma State. I saw Loyola Chicago put the clamps on Illinois. They didn't make a bunch of. It's really, you know what it's really going to be? It's the winner of that game, and I think Oregon State actually has a shot. Whoever scores the most off of turnovers and whoever gets in transition. Because when they get into the half court, each team is going to shut the other one down defensively. So, yeah, but I think it's going to be close all the way down to the wire.
No, facts, Dean. Facts.
Yeah.
So the next matchup we got here is Villanova-Baylor. Baylor opened at 7.5. I currently have Villanova going to the Final Four in a family bracket. So, I mean, that'd be pretty hyped if they took that one. However, Baylor's been on fire lately, and I see them mopping the floor against Villanova.
I think Baylor's going to cover that, and probably a little more.
7.5, yeah.
I don't think Villanova stands a chance against them. They still, it's been impressive what they've been able to do without their starting point guard, right? But against Baylor, man, Baylor's been stomping on people too. Go ahead.
I just want to say hi to the chat. Jackie, love the logo. Go Niners. What's going on? And then G. Russ, Tom, #1. Appreciate you, fam. And all right, so
thanks, guys.
Back to Baylor, man. I definitely, even though I'm biased here and I'd prefer Villanova to just pull off this insane upset, I think 7.5 is more than reasonable. Baylor's just proven that.
I think that this is going to be one of my 3, man. I think this is going to be one of my 3.
I think it's in my 3 too, man. I do too.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're pretty on that one. Let's go, man. The
Oral Roberts in Arkansas, man. Do you believe in the
March Madness?
Do you believe in the dental school?
Oral Roberts, Arkansas. You know what I do think? I do think Arkansas -11 is huge. That's what I think. That's too much.
Yeah, I think that Oral Roberts could be closely contending within like maybe 7 to 8 points throughout the whole game is what I see.
I don't think they're going to beat Arkansas. I think Arkansas is too damn big. But Arkansas's got to hold them at length, man. It's what we were talking about. Oral Roberts were the best team free throw shooting in the entire country. And that, man, college basketball is 3-pointers and free throws. Well, March Madness, Like, it's just, if they're within 5 at the end and they start hacking, like, Arkansas missed a lot of free throws in their last couple games. Like, I think they're going to finally fall, but I would take Oral Roberts to cover that. I'm pretty confident in that, too.
Yeah, and if you're feeling lucky, then you might consider taking them on a +460 money line, which is quite chunky. But yeah, I agree. I think plus what was it? Plus 11? 11 and a half.
Yeah, that's too big. I think that's too big for Arkansas.
Yeah. I mean, I could see it going one of two ways. I could see Oral Roberts hanging in there all game and keeping it close.
Yeah.
Or I could see Arkansas proving the world right that, these rankings are there for a reason. And them taking it by 11 and a half or whatever.
And you have to take into account the COVID and the lack of crowds are going to go into the favor of these small schools. That's really why I'm pretty confident in it too.
Definitely.
Okay, well.
Although we don't know how well those Falcons travel, man. Those Falcons are known to be of the best in the bigs.
That is true.
That was a joke. But Syracuse, Houston.
I know.
No, I know you know. I'm letting our two viewers who are sticking with us here.
He was joking, people.
So Syracuse, Houston's the final matchup. It's a 6.5 point favorite for the.
Vegas knows, man. Buddy Boheme, man, raining down threes. Oh
so
man!
So is this the end for the 11 seed Syracuse here? Do you think they have a shot at taking off the powerhouse?
Houston. I watched that whole last game because they're one of our 3 Elite Eight teams left. And they came out so flat. Yeah, they came out RIP bracket. They came out so flat and lackadaisical and lazy, and they totally were overlooking. Who were they playing? I'm blanking on who he's. Oh, Rutgers. They were playing Rutgers.
Rutgers, man. They had a former Pac-12 star Joe Young's brother on the team, as well as a player that's going to probably be going to the pros, and I'm forgetting his name.
Well, but watching that game, Rutgers, man, they had him. Houston, they had him all the way down to the 2-minute mark, and then they fouled the guy on a 3. He got a 4-point shot, a 4-point completion, and they were just missing wide open shots. And the last 2 minutes, the game just got away from them. They had him. They had Houston on the ropes, and Houston's so good at scoring. They came back and won. I was shocked. But I don't know. I'm staying away from this line because it's going to go one of two ways. It's going to be a close game, or Houston's going to run them out of the gym. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I have to stay away from this line.
It's a little sketch. I think of all the games, all 8 games, I think this is the most sketch game. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, well, it says here 61% of bettors have Houston minus 6.5. And then 88.
I would not be confident in that.
88% have Houston minus 286. So a lot of people are throwing their stimulus checks down and hammering Houston here.
Nice.
If you're whipping out the stimmy and you're following the podcast and want to make some money, just let us know. If you're tailing the picks, tweet us out at Pacific Sports TR.
That was great enunciation, man.
Thanks, man. And just wanted to let you guys know that next week, regarding the March Madness, we're going to be having a friend of the show, Riley, on, and he's going to be discussing what's going on with the Elite Eight.
Yeah, we're going to have old Riley back on.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of a letdown, I think, for him. I think we might have been bringing him down there on some of our picks.
I think this year, so many people's brackets got destroyed. I feel like we're all just. You know what I like about it? This is just a thought. What I like about it is I feel like we have Gonzaga winning still. I feel like a lot of people have that, but almost everyone else's bracket is busted. I mean, Baylor is the only one. Baylor's the one thing. But I think a lot of us are kind of in the same group, oh, we got destroyed, but this has been some fun basketball to watch. Positivity, man.
Definitely, man. Hey, got to spread that positivity when you can, especially on a Jersey Friday like today.
Definitely, sir. Definitely. So should we pick our 3?
Yeah. Do you want to pick your 3 and my 3, or do you want to each pick one and then?
I think we both agree on the Villanova Baylor. Let's say that right.
By far.
So Baylor, we're gonna say Baylor's gonna cover minus 7.5.
Yeah.
Okay, that's number 1.
I like Oral Roberts covering against Arkansas, but But I don't know if I want that to be my one.
I don't think you should do that. I think we should do.
Florida State.
Okay, well, this is what I'm thinking.
Florida State.
Florida State and USC. That's what I think.
Do you want to do the under on Oregon State and Loyola?
I think that one's. You want to do 4?
Why don't we do 4?
Over under? Over under is always a little sketchy though.
It is sketchy, but hey, let's hit them with the 4-piece meal right
Okay, yeah. Out of all of those, that is the only one I'm like 50-50 confident on that it's going to be under. Like, I actually think it's going to be under. We can do 4.
We'll give them a 4-piece nugget here.
Okay. Oh, man. I like 10 pieces. Okay, so we'll do Baylor covering -7.5. I know, that was pretty good, right? Oregon State and Loyola Chicago, we'll do the under. And we'll take Florida State money line.
Hammer it.
And USC to cover -2.
Yes, sir.
I like it. I like it.
I like it, man.